Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another review. Today we have another SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z character, and it's TURLES, or Tulece, or Lettuce, whatever you want to call him. Here he is on the rotating platform, and it's the standard SH Figuarts box. It just is a little bit heftier as it has to accommodate the cape that it brings and some of these accessory pieces. So without any further ado, let's take this guy out the box and let's check him out. Alright, so here we have him out the box onto the rotating platform, and first impressions are good. I like the way it looks a lot. I am noticing that I see some 3.0 articulation happening in the arms and legs, so I'm excited about that. Also, the cape is done differently than ever before, as it's more pliable and it's not that hard plastic. It's actually malleable, so I'm interested in checking that out. Another thing I noticed right off the bat is just maybe the skin tone is a little off from my liking. It actually looks better here in the light, but if you just see it in regular lighting, it's kind of dark. So I don't know if I like the skin tone, but we'll dive into all that a little bit deeper. So let's check out some of the accessories now. Alright, so here we have the accessories laid out. Let's check them out. First, let's start with the cape. And like I mentioned, it is a different cape than they've given us before. It's much more pliable, and it's just a softer material that you can, I don't know, it's easier to use in my opinion. It's not so hard and rigid, so I actually like that because I never was a fan of those hard, rigid capes. So not bad with this, pretty happy with it. And it also includes these crossed arms, which we'll check out on the figure later. They look painted decent enough. Not bad. And of course it includes some wide open blasting hands, and it also brings these other hands which are also blasting hands. They're just slightly more closed. Not much variation when it comes to the hands. They look kind of similar. And also brings his hand holding the fruit from the Tree of Might, which is a big part of this character, so glad that they included that. Then he has these other wide open hands, but it has the little peg hole so you can use the effect piece that it brings. And the effect piece looks pretty nice. I actually like the way that it carries the light through it. And yeah, nice shimmery like silver paint throughout the effects. Looks good. The way you use it is you pour in these little plastic pegs into those hands, and then you have a longer effect that kind of angles it, or a shorter one. And you can use either one. You just pour it into the little hole in the back, and it's ready for display. So overall looks pretty cool. And for the faces, aside from this stern one that it brings in the box, it also does include this gritted teeth face, which looks pretty nice as well. And this wide open mouth or yelling face also looks very nice. And then of course the eating the fruit face, or it looks like he's sticking his tongue out, but I think he's taking a bite from the fruit. And that also looks pretty nice as well. So good job. Alright, so let's take a closer look at them. I actually like this new style of cape that this gave us. It's like a more pliable, flexible material. So you can still pose them with the cape on. And this is a like different style cape that drapes over the front too. So I think that was a good choice, so it doesn't hinder the articulation. You can probably still, even though you can't even see the arm. It's just better than a hard piece. Kind of would have sucked. Kind of like Whiz's, when they did with Whiz's skirt, how it was a hard piece. They probably should have used something pliable like this. I think that was definitely a better choice. And yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. So let's take a closer look at him without the cape. There we have him. So overall, I think they did a really good job with them. The paint job is very, very good on the armor. Has a nice matte finish. It's shiny in the parts you would expect it to be shiny, and just the color choices all done really well. Very accurate and reminiscent of the movie. Now when it comes to like the knee joints and the elbow joints, they are very different color to the skin, and that's a bit annoying.
It didn't look like that in the promo images. It is also a lot darker than I thought he was going to be. Here in the studio light, it doesn't look that bad. Looks kind of decent. But under regular light, he's kind of a little bit too brown in my opinion. Looks a little bit dark. But like I said, here in the lighting, it does look better. And overall, yeah, I just like the sculpt of him. He's pretty dope. He is using the new 3.0 articulation. It looks like these legs are new, and so are these legs. And so are these arms. A little bit of rough paint job here. If you look at this part here, it's scuffed up and it's not painted perfectly here either. I'm sure there's a couple of other issues. Yeah, like here, it's not painted very well. There's a bunch of little scratches on the leg. So the quality control is not amazing on this, but it's not terrible either. From afar, it looks great, actually. This is just a nitpicking, I guess. But yeah, so far so good. I actually think they did a good job nailing the aesthetics of the character. And he's a pretty good size. You'll see in the size comparisons, he's a little bit bigger than Goku, which is what you would expect. So, pretty good so far. Alright, so let's go over the articulation. So he can look up that much. Can look down a whole bunch. He can do a full 360 with his head if you wanted to. The neck is on a nice swivel, moves around. Can also tilt the head side to side, works very well. The arm could do a full 360. It's worth noting, this is a new way of articulating the armor piece. They've never done it this way before. Excuse the brown paint on my hand. I was painting a figure earlier. So it actually can come straight off. Or you could just really move it out the way and get it up and then bring it back into position. And it's just a way better way of doing it than they had in the past. It just works better. The arms are 3.0. There's a swivel at the quad. It's a little tight. Might have to add a little bit of shock oil to that. It can do a full 360, even with the armor on. Bend at the elbow, double bend. It's got a swivel and a hinge at the wrist. And then the chest has a nice swivel to it. It crunches pretty well. Also goes back pretty far. There's a swivel at the waist. And the legs can kick out that far. Double bend at the knee. And we got a swivel and a hinge at the foot. We also got toe articulation. So overall, I really like it. I'm really happy with the way they did the armor for the first time ever. I can say that because it's always falling off. Like on all the Ginyu Force figures, all the Saiyan armor figures, it just always falls off and it's super, super annoying. So for the first time, you can actually move the arms around and kick the legs out as far as you want to the side and all that. And you don't have to worry about the armor falling off. So very good job. I dig it. Hopefully we can get like a Scout or Vegeta or go back and do some of the other Saiyan armor characters better like this. Maybe not the Ginyu Force. I don't think they'll ever do them again. Or Raditz. But for sure, at least Saiyan Vegeta with the Scouter would be sick. So, we'll see.
Alright, for size comparisons, here he is next to Bardock and Raditz. I think this is probably one of the best comparisons because they are both wearing Saiyan armor. So you can also see the size differences are pretty good, as Raditz should be a lot taller and Turtles should be taller than Bardock or Goku. So I think that works out pretty well. And then here he is next to Goku. And as you can see, he's bulkier and taller than Goku, which is right in my opinion. Also, his hair is not exactly the same as Goku's. It's more wild and has more flaring hair. It's pointier, so it's not just a Goku head. So I like that. I think they did a good job. Alright, so final thoughts on this figure. I think they did a great job with it. I actually like it a lot more than I thought I was going to. I thought it was going to be another annoying Saiyan armor figure that just has so many issues where it's falling off, but I'm happy to see that they actually made improvements with that and they didn't just give us the same old thing that doesn't work. They also gave us the new 3.0 articulation, which I'm very happy with. He poses great, great, great. And I didn't think that was going to be the case because it doesn't pose great. And yeah, this guy's a little bit bigger and bulkier, so he has all that Saiyan armor around him. I was worried about that, but happy to report it works perfect. And they did a great job with the paint. Nice matte finish throughout the armor, and it just looks really nice. Great color choices, and it really looks like it popped right out of the anime. Also enjoy the face plates. They gave us a nice accessory assortment of accessories with the fruit from the tree, and then they gave us the blast effect. I wish they would have gave us more variety on the hands, but other than that, I'm really happy with the figure. I also like the new cape, as I've mentioned. So this is a movement in the right direction for SH Figuarts, because I was getting a little bit burned out on some of these guys because it was a little bit of the same thing over and over. But I think that they actually stepped up the articulation on this and the quality. So good job with that. So overall, I like the figure a lot, and I do recommend you guys pick them up. And that'll be it for this review. So leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want. Take care, and peace.